It's a very expensive pen. You can order this from Christian.
Yeah.
It's like $100
$100 million.
There's only one of these.
It's falling apart. It doesn't even click open properly.
Hey, I didn't see you coming.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Ooh. Yeah.
Hey, my name is Rembert Montal. I'm a storyboard artist working at Riot. I am accompanied by Christian.
Hello.
And we are going to try to draw something.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it informative so it's not just like watch me draw some cool shit. We'll try, but
yeah. Proco, fancy sketch.
Actually, that would look nice on a private plane if he ever has
one day. when Proco has its own campus, we'll get a Proco jet.
So usually when I first start in a drawing, I always start by putting the points. So what these things are is the shoulders and the hips. So you know these plumb lines that you hold in academics?
A plumb line is an exact vertical line that you can drop to see alignments within the pose.
Well, you could use shapes as well. And probably we want to put the head a bit like that. And then here actually you already have your figure, right? And then here the elbow. And you can start dividing it.
To me, it seems like the more you can simplify a drawing, the more likely it'll be successful as a complex piece of art.
Yeah. And here I just slot things into. You see how I drew this? I drew this shape and then this one here, and you created the knee.
Right.
And then you can start dividing it, like the pectoral and contrapposto and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's like super quick, right? You can do that one up or that one down, like probably holding a gun or something. But it is a shorthand already for doing a quick figure. And you click this line, and that line hit. So you have these negative shapes that actually form.
Right.
Because actually now it's just like a triangle. And if you really want to exaggerate that, like superheroes are in a triangle. So usually I think of a figure in sort of a shape already, and I draw it in this shape.
Right.
Like a circle is more comfort, a triangle is more like stability. And
right.
There are these metaphors and things that are like we can use as artists as a tool to really, like symbols. An egg is life. So when you draw someone in a fetus position like that, it's more like safe, like closed. Like anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm gonna draw yet, so I really want to tell a story. So maybe someone's tying it a shoe and someone is standing next to it, or they're looking at a little ladybug.
When I was at the Watts Atelier, and I was, being taught by Eric Gist and all those guys, Ben Young, Jeff Watts, I would always talk to Eric about like what makes somebody more successful at drawing. And it's always about keeping it as simple as possible. And when you're drawing a figure, to me, it seems like you're focusing way more on the bigger shapes versus drawing a person, drawing a specific thing. It's like the envelope of a person is a lot simpler of a thing to try and draw than, an arm with all the muscles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just getting that first composition there.
Right.
And sometimes I like to go in already to get something that is solid. Because if you don't have anything solid and you're just drawing, then there's nothing you can build on.
Is there any reason that you're choosing to focus on the arm before anything else?
It's tricky.
Yeah.
So if I screwed that one up, then I already know, like, okay, let's start again.
Yeah. So you focus on the harder things.
Yeah, always. Because you know that moment, probably you experienced that, where you draw like an entire illustration, you save the head for a lesson, you screw up the head, and it's like, oh no.
Through an entire thing. When I was at the Watts, they were saying that the hierarchy of what you should focus on, it's heads first,
right.
What people look at most, and then hands and then feet. It's like the hand in some images is almost as important as the quality of the head.
Right. Like Norman Rockwell said, if you draw the hands and faces right, then they'll forgive you for the rest, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's, I've been looking at a lot of John Singer Sargent's art recently. But the reason I like his art so much is because compositionally they're so simple. It's just a single figure sitting around generally. But it's not like a really complex piece of artwork. And they're really successful at being what they are because he's able to make these incredibly simple drawings work because the heads, hands, body are just so
they're so well
done. Yeah, so well.
Yeah, and so well suggested as well.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to do these amazing, overly complex pieces of artwork to, make a beautiful piece of artwork.
No. Well, actually, it is complex in its simplicity. compositions that are that simple. Like recently I did a painting of my wife where she's just standing in a field with a river behind her, and it's like, oh, that shouldn't be hard, and I was struggling with that composition so much.
I think it's almost more difficult because you have less to work with, but you have to accomplish the same thing as with a complex image.
Right. Yeah, it's like in concept art, it almost is easy because you have an amazing subject. It's like a huge tree, and actually the subject kind of overpowers the way it is painted.
Right.
And it just becomes a cool painting because of...
the subject matter.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I guess talking to you is really neat because I mean, you obviously value a lot of animators, Disney artists, concept artists, illustrators, and you also value, fine artists and everything in between.
Because it's all the same. For me, even a cartoon is realistic, not in the sense that it looks real as in detail, but it looks real because it looks like it's moving, and movement is real to me.
Yeah, it might be more convincing than just like a really realistic ballpoint drawing of a face.
Yeah.
It might evoke more empathy, even though it might be a complete caricature of what that movement is supposed to be like, or the actual body type involved. But that might be more indicative of the essence of what the person or character is than, again, just like a one-to-one realistic drawing of that thing.
Right.
Is there anything you listen to when you draw?
No, actually not.
You draw in silence?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I can get distracted really quickly.
It's a very honest and seems like correct answer.
Do you listen a lot to music when you work?
I do. I haven't been drawing as much, but when I do, it's like soundtracks, movie soundtracks.
Which ones do you like?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I used to do that. The Lord of the Rings one, it takes like 3 hours, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I used to time myself 7 in the morning. I have till 10 to finish this, so I'm going to put this on. I know when it's 10 when the soundtrack is finished or something like that. Like use the music. It's like people using workouts. Like, oh, I know this playlist will end.
Did you say that sketchbooking is one of your most favorite things to do when it comes to drawing?
For me, creating that first gesture is the most fun.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like coming up with someone that is like here is probably like, where's his hand here? I don't know. Like this is the most fun in art for me. Like it's not perfect in its sense, but it's like, yeah, it's alive. And I mean, I hope it's alive. You always hope. Like you gotta be humble, but it's like that is the most fun to me.
Right.
And I guess it's from animation. And really, if I have a second frame, then I could do the next frame where he's right now here. Seeing and I'm flipping between them, it's like it's coming alive, and that's actually the most fun to me.
Right, the storytelling part of it, right?
Yeah, we're getting that movement right.
Do you think when you were learning how to do art, keeping a schedule was important for you?
No, you just sort of draw when you feel like you drew enough, you stop. But I really drew like a lot.
To me, it seemed like you cultivated a love for art rather than keeping a really intense schedule.
Yes. I can just say like, oh no, I drew a lot and that's why I'm good, which is sort of a cheap answer. I don't think you necessarily need to draw a lot to become good. Like you just need to be smart in what to draw. That's what my teacher, David, he said, actually you just need to draw an hour a day. If it's really practiced, then that's enough.
Yeah. I know plenty of people that draw a lot that aren't really confident in what they draw. They've been drawing for years. I think it's way more important to, again, like you were saying before, the targeted training.
Yeah.
It's like if you know you're really weak at something, you actually, if you're weak at perspective, you study perspective. If you're weak at anatomy, you study anatomy. But then you also take that training and you mess around and just try crazy stuff.
Right. A bag in her hand or something. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What are you thinking about when you're drawing a face like that?
I don't know. A little bit of curiosity, I guess. Like a child's curiosity.
To me, it seems like drawing in perspective is something that a lot of people struggle with, like downward shot faces and stuff.
Yeah, it's tricky. Also putting the ears higher up. And this crazy hair. I've never drawn stuff like this before. You can go look at my portfolio if you don't believe me.
Yeah. What inspired you to draw something different?
Because I was just thinking, there's a lot of people that draw these warriors or hot girls, and I was just thinking, I want to do something different. Well, actually, it's not true. Claire Wendling does this stuff all the time. Okay, I'm not original. Nobody's original.
No one's original.
She has her feet on a rock or something here. She has a huge bag. Yeah, she was carrying something heavy. Actually, he's kind of lazy. I still don't know what they're looking at.
When you're painting a picture, is it kind of similar to how you approach drawing?
No, it's actually widely different. I actually don't have a workflow. Even when I work digitally, people ask me always like, oh, how do you start this image? And it's just, I don't even know. Like every time I try something new, which is not very good in a professional sense. But
yeah, I heard Craig Mullins does a similar thing.
I think he does it to be creative. I just do it because I'm not smart enough to figure out how to... No, really, like I try really, because I want to create certain things. I always want to surprise myself, like what happens when I do this.
Right.
Yeah, it's more experimentation. Like I don't ever want to be in a situation where I could get bored of my own process, or it's like, oh, now I do this and now I do that, and it's frustrating because sometimes I get mad and I punch the table. Why don't I have a workflow? I could have been finished 3 hours ago.
Right.
So it's not to be cool or something. People ask me as well, like, oh, Rembert, cool, can you give us the file without that layer? I said, I paint everything on one layer.
Of course. Yeah, they have to repaint it.
Yeah, no, then you just ask, like, okay, forget it then, but next time paint on multiple layers.
It's a very fine artist thing to do. I know that pretty much every fine artist I know who paints, they all do it on one layer.
It's also distracting. Or what I really do is I work on one layer, but I have every element on a mask, and I just select a mask, and it's on that one layer, but everything is selected, and
right.
Like I have those mask selections.
Right.
I just shaded something here that I shouldn't have, but you know, I'm gonna solve that by putting his entire face in the shade, except his nose, and then I carve out the shape of the nose, and it looks like there's a lighting. So,
right. Yeah,
so now it doesn't feel as wrong anymore. I hope. Like little tricks that you pick up after a while. Or when you drew an eye wrong, you give them an iPad. No, that's a bad trick. That's very stupid.
Yeah. Or putting gloves on people. Or
gloves?
Or like you're always trying to hide the hands. You know, it's like hands behind the back or hands in pockets. You know?
Yeah, it's okay. I was just thinking, I gave her some gloves. I mean, I always spent more love on the faces a little bit. Like the shadow of the head.
Yeah.
What I usually do here is like carve out those highlights. I don't like this guy that much, but she's looking interesting. Like I also never drew this before, actually.
Yeah. I
mean, I drew like teenagers before, but it was like, why are the little kids looking at what was I thinking? A ladybug?
Yeah, ladybug.
Yeah, or a frog. I'm still like trying to.
Or a sword, or a gun, or.
It could be anything now. I guess.
I feel like we should do some drawing related thing, or something like a Proco skull, or a.
They find a Proco membership in the middle of the forest on the ground.
Proco sketchbook.
Why don't you come up with a few ideas right now? Okay. I too.
Okay. To me, it seems like they're kids and they're like in a forest and they're finding something they shouldn't find, which to me might be like a dead body or like a.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, or some kind of. But I'm going towards the more violent.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe like a hole in the ground, like a latch.
My idea was here it's like a river.
Yeah.
It could be anything because they're standing on sort of it's like pebbles or something, you know, like.
Yeah, that they grabbing some kind of treasure out of a river, like how Gollum found the One Ring.
Oh yeah, that's something that I really like. These plants, and they make like this circular design.
Right.
Yeah, it becomes already a little bit more of an illustration if you have a little bit of a background.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hoarding things. She has like what they survive on or something. Like,
right.
She has this huge bag, and maybe he has a wooden sword or something. Like he's sort of the older brother.
Yeah, the defender or something. Yeah, maybe they're thieves and they just got big heist or something.
I'm gonna draw a third one here.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they dropped something, or maybe they found a creature in need is injured or something.
The creature is like Stan.
Yeah, a little tiny Stan, baby Proco.
Actually, this strap should go right here.
What do you think the most important thing is that you're thinking of when you're doing a drawing?
Here is to entertain.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in general, just for me personally, to have fun. As you can see, I really feathered things in, more or less. I always think these little occlusions always create a lot of depth, like here. There's some areas where you put it darker.
To me, it seems like too innocent for it to be like a weapon or something, but it definitely should be like a forbidden thing, you know, like something that's like they didn't expect to find it. I'm trying to think like what would be in a river. Is he vomiting? Is he like biting his nails or something?
It's like he's gonna grab it. Our arm is a bit too long as well, so let's speed it up a little bit. Because not right now I'm getting like, I mean, not warmed up. It sounds so cringy when you say no, I'm warmed up. It's like you kind of established everything. There's no way but just forward right now. So
right. Do you ever name your characters when you draw like this?
No, you can name them.
They're all named Chuck.
Yeah.
Different variations of Chuck.
Chucky. Isn't that like a doll that kills people?
Yeah, the horror movie.
Maybe that's what they're looking at. We still haven't figured it out.
I mean, my impulse is something like the One Ring or some kind of a...
It looks at Lord of the Rings to you?
I guess the river is what makes Lord of the Rings to me.
Oh yeah. Well, we can still change that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, what do you usually do when you draw from your imagination?
I usually scribble. I don't normally do an underdrawing.
Really?
Yeah, just draw shapes.
You go for it?
Yeah, I guess it's more of... I like the process of doing it a lot more than the final product.
Likewise for me, especially in the sketchbook. Like I said, there used to be a period where I want to impress.
Well, when do you think that stopped for you?
Like, it's actually weird. When I started Riot, I really felt a need to, I need to impress, and I was keeping people had expectancies of me. Right. But after like 4 years of working there, I was more like no, I'm good enough. Like, I've proven myself.
Right.
Not to myself, because I still have, like, it sounds so pretentious, but I guess to the outside world. Like, that I have enough things under my belt that I can be confident, sort of like, oh, okay, I can draw. Like, people know that I can draw.
The sooner you can let go of that kind of stuff too, the more honest your art will be.
Yeah, but you need a lot of...
It's quite difficult, I think. And I think that people go through phases of feeling okay with their art and not feeling okay with their art.
Nobody's actually really happy with their art deep inside. And if you know someone, they're lying.
Yeah. Everyone's insecure.
Yeah.
I was at Spectrum event at Gallery Nucleus.
Mm-hmm.
Ian McKegg was there, and I was talking to him about this stuff. And
right.
He was saying, keep a sketchbook, just to keep your skills sharp, but then keep another sketchbook, just draw the stuff that you love. And when you draw the stuff that you love, you're going to figure out the kind of style you want to do, the things you really care about, and don't even care about the quality of the drawings. Just draw the things you know you want to draw.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. This damn hand. Sometimes I turn it like this.
Yeah.
Because the hand is already kind of, it's a bit too extreme. Like, when you point that finger out, it's exaggerating it a bit too much. It's always better to exaggerate it too much than not at all, because then at least you screwed up in the right way.
Do you ever take something you do in your sketchbook into a digital painting? Like, you'll take a photo of it and draw paint over it?
Yeah, a lot actually, but I change it. I do it for work actually as well.
Yeah. I see a lot of people talking online about how drawing professionally is almost dead, but I think that's wrong.
That's completely wrong.
Yeah.
No, who said that?
The internet.
Where do they live?
The people of Reddit.
The people of the internet. No, the people of Reddit are wrong. There is more demand actually ever for people that can really draw something really quickly. Because story beats is something that's very in demand. In 3D, it's very easy to make an environment, but when it's characters, it's much faster to draw them.
Right.
It's much, much faster. Because if you want to see if a character fits in a story, are you going to model it and then put it in a pose and then put it in a frame with the other 3D, or just some guy that can draw it, or girl, in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
You can sometimes see that I'm like super confident and I go,
nice.
Whatever.
There it is.
Because all those under sketch lines, they will go away eventually. I don't know, he's wearing a sock a bit too high.
Yeah.
So then remember, you just had to draw one character. I remember a story about Frank Frazetta. Like, somebody asked him to draw something or a demo, and then he drew something and he kept drawing on the entire page because he wasn't happy with whatever he drew. I can relate to that.
I went to the Frank Frazetta Museum in New York.
You really?
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't even know that existed. Actually.
Yeah. It's at his house, actually, at his studio.
A lot of originals there?
Yeah. Tons of them. A bunch of the really famous ones as well.
I like his drawings a lot.
I like the spirit of what he did in terms of, like, drawing what a 12-year-old would draw, Yeah.
But
he was good at it, but he was very honest with what he was using his skills for.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Yeah, metal. Sexy ladies and guys with swords and tigers and stuff.
I kind of appreciate that, actually.
Yeah, it's very honest.
It's like, this is what I liked.
Who I am.
Like a branch of a tree. a bit gnarly. You see, it's sort of a triangle.
Yeah.
You probably already figured that out. And there's some birds here watching as well. I still don't know what they're looking at.
We can get Sean's opinion if you want.
Oh yeah, like he can come in and decide what they're looking at.
I was thinking like a sword or like the One Ring or something.
My default, just because I love sci-fi in fantasy settings, would be like some kind of ancient technology.
Or yeah, like
something, some kind of like thing that is like, what is this glowing thing?
Right.
It's like a warhead or
Yeah,
some kind of an AI.
Right.
Actually, that's cool. Like some sort of old rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids that find like World War II landmines in their backyards and stuff.
Right, or it's kind of like some sci-fi nonsense kind of thing.
They're scrappers. Like
Yeah.
she has a bag full of stuff and it makes sense now.
Another hand reaching up now. Almost that would just look like a reflection.
Yeah.
Like a robot? What is small enough there? Because a rocket is like
Yeah,
bigger.
small. Something small is tough.
It could be a tiny robot.
Oh yeah.
Or like a hand, but it's a robotic hand, or it's a piece, a limb, or.
Oh yeah. Wait, actually, in perspective, we have more room to work with here. I never draw robots.
Drawing robots is hard, man.
Yeah, it's really
Really tough.
It's because you have to figure out.
Everything fits together and
Yeah.
to understand
I mean,
mechanicals.
if you want to do a really good job at it. I guess.
Yeah, I picture it being like a really shallow river too. It's like really calm. There's this entire arm, which obviously implies that there's a guy completely submerged by dirt and stuff.
Doesn't really look like a robot. Huh?
I still think it's cool that it's a hand coming out of a river.
It's actually really small, because I'm just like doing a little touch.
Yeah.
If you have a little marker or something, probably. I don't know if you have Copics here somewhere.
Yeah, something.
Just to experiment, I have used Copics before, so it's not like maybe it will encourage people watching this to also say, you know what, I'm gonna try some Copics or Prismacolors or Airbrush or whatever it is.
Experiment with stuff.
Oh wow, Prismacolor. Holy sh!
And some gray Copics.
Cool. That is actually a cool gray. So usually I try to go lighter because there's already this dark ballpoint pen that will smudge everything.
Is that naturally gray or is it blending with the ink?
It's blending with the ink.
Okay.
To give it purple. It still looks like crap after this. It's my fault.
I like it, man. It's really good drawing.
My morale goes up slightly. I'm gonna steal all the Copics from Proco. So I left those shapes for the highlights. I mean, it does give a little bit more, because else it's like random, a lot of lines. It's like doing a little bit watercolors, right?
Yeah.
That's a 2, so maybe I need a... Is there a 1? Does that count as a 1? Oh shit, it's very dark. Well, it works. I never really use Copics that much. Because they're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. Yeah. I remember hearing the story about Frank Frazetta. He did a bunch of his famous artwork with the Disney watercolor set you get for super cheap.
Did you like that?
Yeah, he liked it a lot. And the moral of the story is you don't need to spend a ton of money on art supplies to make great pieces of artwork.
That's true. Leaving room for the highlights there on the...
Yeah.
Like some highlights are really important. Like here, you have one here. And then going down here. Actually motivates me going a bit darker. I don't know if she looks curious or kind of angry. Maybe a bit too dark. Well, because there was a ballpoint pen already. We're experimenting as we go along.
Yeah.
It's coming a little bit together. Like if you would scan this in digitally, it would be easy to color it. Very true. Actually, I cannot. I mean, not the drawing, the Copics. Like I said, watching your own drawing is like hearing your own voice.
Yeah, it's hard to appreciate your own stuff.
But sometimes you can, and I really enjoy it then. You can be a little bit arrogant, full of yourself, because it's really hard to create competent art.
I think it's important actually to make the effort to enjoy your own artwork. Because if you don't, then it's like, what are you doing?
If you don't enjoy it, who's going to enjoy it?
Yeah. Especially if you want to be a professional. If you can't believe in your own artwork, then how can you expect somebody else to believe in what you're trying to say?
Some time to be proud a little bit,
Yeah.
Get more of a...
Shimmer.
Like for focus, adhere the greatest contrast or something.
Yeah. The thing I tell people, it's generally the people that I talk to that are, not proud of their own artwork, they've been doing it for 10 years or something. And they're still like, oh man, I suck. But if you were to measure that in terms of, degrees, that's like a full doctorate in drawing or something.
I'm just sugarcoating it. I don't think I can make it worse or better.
I like it, man. It's a good drawing.
Oh, thanks.
Do you want to talk about how people should follow you?
Oh yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. That's Rembert Montaalt. And ArtStation is just Rembert Montaalt.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Rembert.